Hey YouTubers, it's me, Lonnie Clark, Nuts for Art, and it's been a pretty long time since I've made a video, and actually it's kind of interesting because Brian Porter from Making a Difference TV showed me how to do these YouTube live broadcasts so that I don't have to go through that extra step of uploading it. Like when I do these live broadcasts, um, they automatically upload to YouTube after I do them. So it's kind of like doing a video. The only difference is I don't get to edit it. So I have to be a little bit more, I guess, concerned about not spewing off about things too badly. And because when I make my own videos, sometimes I edit out stuff. I get like all wound up and I start spewing and cussing. But what time is it? It's now my birthday just passed. Yesterday was my birthday, October 16th, and I worked all day actually. I woke up and did my radio show, took a shower, a client came over, and boom, all day long because I do tax resolution. And you know what, when you're a tax resolution specialist, you know what that means? All your clients follow late. And actually, I had to call them to tell them, look, we got to get your taxes done. It wasn't even on their brains. And this is what a liberal socialist I am. I don't actually charge them extra money for that. I charged one person $100 brush fee today. And she was a person I had to call. And then when I called her, you know what happened is I called her and found out that the reason she didn't file was her mom was sick. I mean, really sick, to the point where she's being put into a hospital. She's really sick. And I was like, you know, and I actually wasn't going to charge her. I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. She's like, that's not enough money. I have to pay you more money. And she actually picked a number that I thought was fair, but I didn't really want to charge her because, I don't know, she's putting her mom in a hospital for the last, like, it's been this horrible thing. So at what point this is the thing. This is why I wanted to make a video. And this is why I like this, like, live feed thing. Because at what point does our ethics kick in? See, the other day when most of you who, well, maybe not, you know, maybe not my YouTube channel knows this, but I'm actually a student at the University of Oregon now. And I am by far the oldest person that I've seen there. Yesterday, not today, it still feels like today because I didn't go to sleep, but it was actually yesterday, I turned 62. And I am older than either of my professors. Frankly, I'm older than most people that I meet at school. And what shocks me is how young the old people are. Like, the people that look older than me, when I start talking to them, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm really old. I'm 57. I'm like, what the fuck? They look like 10 years older than me. Like, really? So you notice I'm in my living room, and this is because Kevin Finnegan, who I call Baby Wolf, I don't call him Baby Wolf to his face, but Kevin Finnegan is now staying at my house again. And, you know, he's a young activist who came out here from New York. And we were talking about this tonight. He can't talk to anybody here in Eugene about Fukushima. Let's just be real. We are not allowed to talk about it. If we talk about it, we're considered lunatics. This is why I'm making the video. Because who's talking? I had to make a title for this live feed, right? So I called it the birthday feed video. And, oh, you know what I should do? I'm going to do this. See, Dave. Thank you, Dave Parrish, because Dave Parrish gave me this idea. This is the thing about us oldsters. You guys can still see me, but I can't see you because I'm going on to Facebook. And I'm going to put up there oh, he's so smart. I am going to put up there, let me see if I can find it. Can I find the link? Oh my gosh. Page view. Sorry, guys. I have to do the serious oldster thing. Hello. Let's put on 2 pairs of glasses, not just one, because I hate the bifocals, man. So I'm going to get the link to this Google Hangouts thing. And what's peculiar to me is I'm looking at the link with all this weird thing. It switched pages on me. But I have to, this has been a hard thing for me to comprehend when I'm doing this. This was funny. Brian and I were on the phone for about 2.5 hours. Brian Porter, he was very insistent that I learn how to do this. And thank you, Brian, because you were right. I didn't need to learn how to do this. So here it is. I'm going to put live. So you guys can see me and I can't see you. So that's the interesting thing. Feed on YouTube. And I'm going to post that now for my birthday, which officially, I'm spelling this, you guys, was yesterday. Well, actually, yesterday's date. I was born at, I think, 8:32 in the morning. I think that's the time of date on my birth certificate. So anybody who wants to do an astrology chart, that'd be awesome. But maybe that's not the exact date. So if you're really going to do an astrology chart, contact me. You can actually call me. You can get in touch with me on Skype at Lonnie.Clark7 or call my cell phone. I'm pretty public, 541-337-4664. So I'm going to post this on YouTube's. I just talked to my baby girl tonight, like, oh my gosh, you guys, my daughters are so awesome. You have no idea. My children are such great human beings, like, wow. They have been great. Like, I never met anybody so good. And I don't know about your kids, but they probably are, because this generation of people, man, outstanding. I have to say I'm kind of impressed with them all. So this is my meager little living room, by the way. So I don't have a sofa. I got rid of my sofa because who sits on it? I'm either in that office or at school or at that desk studying. So there you go. And see, there's my puppet show thing that I make puppet shows with, but I've never made a puppet show there. It like sits on my brain like I need another 4 hours in 24 hours. So that's what I think. Oh my gosh. I should probably see if I can figure out a way to put the comments on if you guys want to make a comment. But I decided I need to come and make a birthday video because all day I work like a slave. And to be honest, I've had nothing but the cries lately. Like, it's been freaking super difficult. So it says I can chat. So how do I figure that one out? I don't know, boss. So I'm going to start a chat. Hello. Okay, so I think you guys can chat and I have to talk to you there. That's the issue there. But, okay, let's get back to why I decided to make a video at 12 o'clock at night. And I'm going to be on the radio show at 8 o'clock in the morning on ucy.tv. And yes, you have to log in onto the internets and you type in www.ucy.tv/AOF Lonnie Clark. Not Lonnie Clark, AOF, just that. And then you'll hear Lonnie Clark at 8 o'clock. You'll hear my little intro, which I was going to redo the intro because I think it says Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But me and Jules just decided, I redid it a couple times, but this first one that I did, man, that had the heart. That's kind of my signature. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if anybody out there actually wants some time on the air, contact me because I would love to give up some time on the air. I don't want to give up the radio show, but I actually would love a co-host, somebody who regularly wants to come on and put on their ideas, because I think that's a good idea. This is my thing. Oh, so this is the deal. Cheers. I'm drinking red wine. Kevin Finnegan bought me a bottle of wine. Want to see what he bought me? This is what I drink, and you know why I drink this? It's 10 years old, and it's from South America. It's pre-Fukushima. I actually search out pre-Fukushima wine, to be honest. Like, dying. But this is my wine glass. I think I freaked out Kevin Finnegan because I'm such a freaking, like, Flaming liberal. I don't think he's ever seen such a flaming liberal. Like, he thinks he's a little anarchist, but it's funny because I actually, in class the other day when I asked, well, I asked two questions. I asked one question in each class that made the person kind of look at me funny. Like, in the first class, I said about how maybe the industrial military complex has become a de facto state. Because to make a state, it's almost like you have this is what they say: a state is the ability to have legitimized territory, right? You can do violence. You have the right to legitimize violence in your own territory. This is why the cops can kill black people in our country, because they have the legitimized right to kill people, even kill people. So we're outraged at their hideousness, right? Their lack of humanity at all. But that's what makes a state. And I said, well, maybe the industrial military, because they look at the whole planet as their territorial right to kill whoever they want. And guess what? They do. De facto, they do. Nobody stops the industrial military complex. And guess what? Nobody can. That's the thing about weapons. They kill people. Like, war is an... We, as a species, as human beings, prefer peace. This is the reality. We prefer peace. We want peace. We don't have to be angry and hateful. And those perpetrators who are offending or who have offended in the past are the most violent, bitter people. I think we actually really need to get to a point where, see, I always go back to abuse, and I think that's because, like, as a child, my parents didn't think they abused us. They thought they were good parents until my dad went, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I mean, to be honest, my father was a monster, and so was my mother. Like, their behavior was like, say what? We would not even tolerate what happened to us as children. I'm one of 8 children. And the idea that I grew up in Los Angeles, where the nuclear industry had one of the first nuclear meltdowns on the planet, the first nuclear meltdown on the planet happened where I was born. Thank God I lived out in the suburbs. I lived in Hacienda Heights, but I'm still there. My friend Ed Oz was born he lived in Van Nuys all of his childhood, right next to Santa Susana, where the first nuclear meltdown happened. To me, this is the thing. The nuclear, this is why I cannot get my brain off of, what do I say? Abuse, misogyny, and nuclear lies. They all go hand in hand. And okay, I want to add in chemical lies, and I have to look on Facebook, because I always refer to this health physicist that I met in St. Louis, and I don't remember his name because I moved on. I apologize to him, but he kind of chewed me out, blah, blah, blah. You have no idea what you're talking about. You need to get an education, da, 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 da. But he actually gave a little bit to me, because I was able to respond to him in a way that was on an intellectual level, on the real issues. And what happened was he responded back to me that was respectful. And he made a point that was so well taken. He said, chemical pollution is harming humanity faster than nuclear pollution. Okay, I get that. But that still does not make nuclear pollution permissible. And it also does not give a fucking free pass to the pharmaceutical industry, the nuclear industry, the physicians, the people everywhere. For these fucking health physicists, excuse my language. Well, I don't have to excuse my language. It's YouTube. Fuck you. This is the good thing. See, on my radio show now, I can't cuss because we're on kepw.org in Eugene, Oregon, and you can check them out, man. It is an awesome, awesome radio show. I'm going to promote for them because they're awesome. www.kepw.org. Listen to them online. Their lineup is really good. I keep them all the time on my radio show now. It's pretty awesome. Holy crap, this is what happens when I drink, when I go on. I can't remember, but it's my birthday video, so who gives a crap? See, this is the freedom. This is what I mean. This is what we're losing by going Sig Heil. We're accepting the fact that the fucking Vice President of the United States took off in the middle of to make a point about kneeling over the flag, forgetting the fact that there were people who were being murdered at the hands of police, and posted a video on YouTube of himself from years ago and calls himself a Christian. These are the people that we have. So, oh my gosh. Well, happy birthday to me, man. This is you guys are my birthday party, whoever two of you are. Say who you are in the comments so I can see who you are. Because I see two people there. So here you go. Salut. Oh my God, I worked like a slave today. It was not good. But it was actually good because my brain was functioning and it did work well. What are we going to do about this, you guys? How do we protect ourselves from the ongoing nuclear contamination? See, we're not really allowed to talk about it. That's what Finnegan said. Like, he goes out into the streets, his friends, he can't talk to them. By the way, guess what? Finnegan, you see back there where those curtains are? That's my back patio where I have an overhang, like a little patio covering, and I have a sofa out there, an old sofa that someone gave me. It's pretty comfortable. Finnegan sleeps out there. I think it's kind of cute, but I mean, he's from New York, so for me, I could never, it's like 47 degrees outside. I would never sleep out there if I could come in here where I keep it a cozy 78. I know, my carbon footprint, that's the way it goes. Oh my gosh, you guys. So did you hear about the articles in Fukushima that they have told us now that everything in Fukushima is perfectly fine? The nuclear contamination is back what it used to be. Don't worry about it. That's their newest gig. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So, you know, go to the Olympics. Don't worry about it. They also, Ken Buessler and his little gang of liars found out that there is cesium-137 off of the coast of Fukushima. And surprise, surprise, it's 70 kilometers down the road from Fukushima. And wow, isn't that surprising? But don't worry, it's the levels of cesium-137, no big deal. Do you know what the levels that they measure at are? They measure at a 27 to 29-year-old male who is not overweight and in perfect shape, weighing approximately 130 to 145. What about children? What about infants? What about elderly? What about the sick? Mr. Ken Buessler, that's my question to you. That is fundamentally the issue, is why are you lying? Because you know, Mr. Ken Buessler. And if you don't know, why don't you know? Because I have books on my bookshelves over there in my humble little home. Let me show you the books over there. I have like bookshelves and bookshelves of things. And you know what? John Goffman, Dr. Arthur Tamplin wrote definitive, and Dr. Linus Pauling, who won a Nobel Peace Prize for his work on how nuclear radioactivity affects the fetus. The books are up there. They are in print. It's not like you cannot find them, Mr. Kim Buesler. I just saw an article yesterday with your name on it saying how, yeah, we found the cesium-137, but no harm to human health. Sig Heil, as we march people off to the death camps. What do you think nuclear contamination is, if not the death camps, sir? You know, the problem is with these kinds of death camps, your kids get to go too, pal. I don't know about you, but I have 4 magnificent grandchildren and 2 totally awesome children. And they are grown women now who are an asset to the entire planet's energy. And I personally resent the fact that Mr. Kim Buesler is saying no harm to human health. We just found the cesium-137 down the road from Fukushima, but don't worry about it. And guess what? The same scientists in England, we're pouring the sludge from, where was it, Hinkley Nuclear Power Plant. We're just going to put it down there, and oops, those pesky residents from Cardiff, they're like really annoyed that maybe it'll affect their land. Like, this is the most incomprehensible thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know, you guys. Maybe I should do a late night video every night because this is the only time I can do it. And when I go on the radio show, I have to listen to other people. Like this Wednesday on my radio show, on the Age of Fission radio show, you think I do not think about her every day? Like, oh my gosh. Erica Dugan lives in Oklahoma and her whole entire family is sick. Her children are sick. This thing she told me. And you know what happens? Her doctors say she's lying. They don't want to hear about it. They get angry at her. They mark her down. She has a hard time with her insurance company getting things paid. Salud. I'm 62 now. I can drink online. Is that what this means? I get to drink online now when I'm 62? You know where I learned to do this? This is totally hilarious. I'll share this little story with you on my birthday video. My ex-husband, Dudley Clark, my children's dad. When we first got married, he was a super spoiled child. He would break all the glasses in the house. He didn't want to wash dishes, so he'd just break them when it was his turn to do dishes. So finally, I'm like, dude, I'm not buying more glasses. So we started drinking out of jars. And then after we were married for quite a while, and I'm like, we had the same jars for like several years. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like one day I said, how come you don't break these things? He said, I don't know. I like drinking out of jars. That's how people are, isn't it? Oh my God. Why are these people in the nuclear industry willing to kill us? This is my question. Why? They can't be so dumb to just want money and comfort. Like, okay, let's just pretend I have like a big, gigantic, like jacuzzi, super warm in the kitchen over there, and that's actually not a little tiny room. But there's a bunch of things, and there's like a bunch of room. Like, okay, so we can build all this stuff and pay for whatever you want, no problem. Then what? What happens to Mother Earth? I mean, how far away are from we? In order to create that, we have to destroy so much. We do not need this. We do not. When I asked that question in school the other day, I was in my international relations class, and I said, look, no, it was comparative politics. Is wealth building actually a helpful thing? I'm not sure wealth building is healthy. That's for real. Like when we think about this whole thing of like, well, everybody's out for themselves. This whole like political science idea that we all are looking after our own best interests, and that's what humans naturally do. And that we don't care who we harm. That's like the, what do they call that? The commons, the problem of the commons, where the freeloaders do nothing. Freeloaders are freeloaders for a reason. This is the thing to understand. It's not like they're not doing nothing. In their heads, they're doing something. It's just our life experiences are bigger than what we think they are, because we're healing our lives as we go along. I mean, this is why people, it's interesting as people age, like as we get older, we actually get to see who we have become. And we have like a greater depth of knowledge. It's been interesting being in colleges. The children, I call them children, like the kids in school. They actually they read about Pinochet, but they don't understand what it meant to be so shocked that Pinochet actually took over. And then for me, as an American, to find out that my own government paid for it. Like, what the fuck? Like, really? My tax dollars? Like, my little meager, I mean, at the time Pinochet was happening, I think I paid $800 a year. That might have been my maximum. I was making, what, $15,000, $17,000 a year supporting 2 kids. But still, I was outraged. My money went to pay for that monster. Same thing with Trump. I'm not taking a salary, but I'll charge you $3 million a year to protect me. That sounds like the freaking mafia. This guy is such a con. Like, swear to God. Woo! Here, drink your Kool-Aid, babies. I don't know. I don't know how long I've been on here. I have no idea. This is the weird thing. I've never done this before, so let's see. 12:07 is 12:26. I'm going on a half an hour of just blabbing on with no intention. And I marked it birthday video just because I don't want to like blah, blah, blah. I'm fucking sick to death of thinking about Fukushima and radiation and fucking chemicals. I'm really up to here, as my mother would say. You know, like, I want our lives back. I want our earth back. I want these stupid fucks to stop being a threat to everybody on the planet. Fuckers. My dad said to me, my dad called me for my birthday first thing this morning. I was all like, my head was twisted. I had so much work to do. But my dad's 88 years old, and I haven't talked to him in months. And he said to me, you know, like, you know, I don't know. Sorry, fucking guys. I lost my train of thought. I can't make that part up. But I don't think I really care. That's the good part. This is my birthday video. I really honestly don't give a flying fuck who comes or goes. I don't think we have 100 years on this earth. That's the weird part. I have grandchildren. I have a brand new baby grandchild, 2 months old. His name is Andrew. When I go to their house and I think we don't have 50 more years to live, and then I hold Andrew and feel how strong he is, or I pick up my granddaughter who is just like fierce as a woman. I don't know who she is yet, but man, she is an interesting person. And my 2 older grandsons, like, and Junior. Junior is I guess he's my grandson. He's my grandson. He's my grandson by another mother. How about that one? But he's awesome. What the fuck, man? I turned 62. Do you know my 62nd birthday? This is how good America, this is how good Donald Trump made America. Let's talk about Make America Great Again. How many months? 10 months into Donald Trump's economy. I worked from 9 o'clock in the morning until midnight, or actually it was 11:45, and I said, screw it, I'm going to make a YouTube video, and I'm just going to go on live, and I'm going to not edit it, and who gives a flying fuck, because I don't want to have to go upload it and blah, 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 do all that bullshit that it takes 45 minutes to do. This is easy. That's the cool thing about this broadcast thing, is I can just do it right now. Hi, you guys. Okay, so I also want to show you this because I don't know when I'm actually really going to be back. So for any of you who have listened to my radio show and have heard me interview Larry Bergen, this is the thing. I love these people. Like the people that I've met through this. I can't believe we're doing this to each other, that we allow this to happen. Like Erica Dugan, she's going to be on my radio show on Wednesday. Do you know she's a professional journalist? Like she went to school, got her degree. Like, to be honest, it kind of intimidates me when she told me that because I'm like, really? She must be like going, wow, who are you? Because I've decided I am not what you call a real journalist. I'm kind of an opinionist. You know what I mean? Like, I come at this like with an agenda, and I will acknowledge that. So this is Larry Bergen's note that he wrote. He is the sweetest person in the world. I hope it's not backwards when you guys see it. If it is, hold your cell phone or your laptop up to a mirror and then you can see it, or hold a mirror up, then you can read it. So, okay. So this is the picture that Larry Bergen, who lives, I believe it is in Apollo. I think I've finally acknowledged that. That's Larry Bergen. He's the guy that we talked to on my radio show. And this is what happened to him. I'm going to see if I can get... He sent me photos. He had been working here for like 10 years or 8 years or something. And all of a sudden, this started happening to him. Like, what the crap? And he got really sick, like, for a long time. And in fact, he's been very sick. He's had lots of issues, and there's been stories about him. This is what happens when we get contaminated. This is what happens. Okay, I'm going to go online and hold on. This is the weird part. This is the thing that I couldn't figure out with Brian. This was so funny. Like, I want to go onto my email and look at something and share it with you and talk to you about it. So I can go there, and when I go there, you'll still see me. So hang on. You're still going to see me, but I'm not going to see you, and that's kind of the funny part for me. Because I am going to go to my, oh, wow. Hold on. I'm writing people on Facebook. Okay, so hold on. I'm live on YouTube. I don't think I'm live on YouTube, am I? I think that's not a true statement. See, this is where I have to understand this part. Okay. Link. Ding, 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 ding. See, I took this honors class. This is where education is like so kind of cool. That's what I really like. View page source. Okay, so I'm going to do this. And that shows where we are. And so then I'm going to go up here. Brian Porter would be proud of me. He thinks I needed to market myself better. I'm like, okay. So then I need to tag friends. That's what he says. Let people know what you're doing. Thank you, Dave. I have no idea. Ed. I always tell Ed Oz. Ed is like my best friend. And here in Eugene, I think. And Mercedes Del Valle, who is a really great dentist, but she is busy with her children. Mercedes. And who else would be alive? Billy Johnson, because you know why? Because he's in Canada. I'll tag Kevin Finnegan. And all my friends are here in the West Coast, and it is midnight, so probably not. They won't come in, but I'm still going to tag them no matter what. And who else do I know in town? I don't know very many people here in town. And I don't know very many people overseas. Okay, there you go. Enough of that. This gentleman, my children. So if you guys don't know about what Larry Bergen is all about, is Larry was working in a factory where during the war years they processed uranium, and it was sold to a private company, and that company, it still had uranium dust all over the place. They were processing uranium a couple times a week, and they didn't tell them. They thought they were just processing materials. They had no idea. So sometimes they would process it, or there were certain plants that would process it, but everybody was getting sick. And not only that, the neighborhood, because they were constantly spewing this stuff, the kids were really sick, but they were very low income. They were black, and no one even connected it with the factory. And then Larry got sick, and it was recognized that it was because of the uranium. So then he became a neighborhood spokesman for the community. He was basically a black community, and they were the first case in Illinois to win compensation for disability based on uranium poisoning. And it's been going on for quite a while. Patty Amino told me about him, and I saw him in The First Secret City that C.D. Stelzer. If you guys haven't seen that, honestly, I'm going to type that in, The First Secret City. The First Secret City. I think the producers are C.D. Stelzer, and I don't remember his partner's name. I'll just put his name, because he's a writer for the Stelzer. I think it's also, available on, guess who? Amazon. I know everybody hates Amazon, but I like Amazon. That's why Amazon's so big, because we all like Amazon secretly. We really like Amazon. Well, I'm going to be on the radio at 8 o'clock in the morning, you guys. It's 12:37 in the morning. I'm going to go for another 45 minutes. I started at what time? How long have I been on? Let me put on the glasses. Maybe this will tell me somewhere on here. Okay, let's see. What does it say? The viewers could chat and tell me how long we've been on. 12:07 is when we started. Hello, The First Secret City. So The First Secret City is C.D. Stelzer telling the story about St. Louis, which is still going on. This is the freak out about St. Louis. St. Louis, there's a burning nuclear, it's not a reactor, it's burning nuclear fuel. What happened was they secretly buried 200,000 pounds of uranium, the highest grade uranium in the world, 200,000 tons. And then they found out about it in the early 60s. It was discovered. They moved most of it out, and then it was discovered, oops, we sold 50,000 tons of it to the Westlake landfill, and they put it into the landfill in St. Louis near the airport. And for a very, very, very long time, people were going to the landfill to take their dirt. So we really have no idea where the uranium that was buried there, how far it spreads in St. Louis. That's the one thing. And then, okay, so then what happened was the government came in and demanded that they cover it up. So they covered it up, but it turns out that it was right next door to, here's the landfill. They had the nuclear waste here, and over here they had, because it was a fuse wrap site, they had, or some type of a super site, I think it's called the Superfund site, where they have like super highly contaminated stuff going in there, right? So the nuclear stuff, they knew, they discovered they had it. They didn't realize they had it for, okay, wait a minute, I'm ding, 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 let's back up. What happened was they had all these other contaminants, and then they discovered that because those other contaminants came in contact with the nuclear contaminants, they started a fire and erupted, and that's how everybody found out in 2011, I believe, and the same year as Fukushima. And that's when people actually found out that they were being contaminated, that lived nearby there. Because prior to that, they thought they were safe because the Superfund site that the EPA had been unloading was way off in Bridgeton. And it was obvious because something was wrong, because people over there were horribly, grotesquely ill. People were, in fact, that's what motivated me when I first got my radio show. Oh my gosh, I saw this, I will never, it is etched in my brain forever. This little girl looking back at her mom like this, and a big light behind her. She's sitting on a hospital bed, and the Facebook post said, my light, the light of my life went out last night, or something. Her child had died. Oh my God. Like, the picture was her sitting on a bed getting her cancer treatment, but it didn't work. And the little girl was like 10. I mean, wow. I have to say that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, thanks to God, all of my children have been safe. All, like, I couldn't imagine what that would be like. And so I don't know how people can ignore this. I honestly didn't know about St. Louis until I started my radio show. Because when I started the radio show, then I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And I was like, click, 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 click. Just kind of like how I found about Fukushima after I had the nightmare. I didn't know Fukushima. I thought Obama was telling the truth. Honestly. But then again, I was a dumbass American because I actually thought that San Onofre was a observatory. I apologize. I'm sorry. I had no. This is the thing. This is why we can't be angry at each other for not knowing. Because you don't know what you don't know until you know you don't know it. Right? And that's called growing up. That's called being human. We have had the most unique. Well, this is my thing. Will this communication system, Kevin and I used to argue about this. I am not sure that this will be in perpetuity. I actually believe it's transitory. I think the thing that matters is each other. That's the thing that is going to be what saves us. And because this is a toy, us being able to stay up, to do these videos, to use the cell phone, all that stuff like this. This is a hilarious thing. I love this. My little mouse. And Ed told me I need to get a mouse where my hand lays a different way. I'm like, yeah, but then I have to give that up. Like, who wants to give that up? That looks pretty cool. So this is why my birthday video, because I don't really care who watches and who doesn't. Like, this is my thing. Oh my God. I guess it's the question, what would you do if you had as much money as you ever needed? Isn't that what like all the great philosophers say? Like, live as if you had all the money you had. What I'd do, I'd go to school full time and I'd do artwork. That'd be what I would do. I have lots of like, I have things that I want to paint like really bad. And I have like, I don't know. There's just things that I haven't figured out how to get it all out yet. And I think that's called living. I think that's actually called living. So my question is, how do we stop Trader Trump? Like, how do we stop these people from killing our children? I mean, there's so much demonization about Obama, about Bush, about Clinton, about Trump, but actually Trump is the first person that has a public despicable persona. The thing is with Hillary Clinton, she pretends to be nice and it comes off that she's pretending. She's obviously mentally ill, exactly like Trump. This is the thing about Trump. People, this is why I have to admit, I actually 100% believe this. I mean, I think the CIA saw Trump as a puppet a long time ago, and they helped him buy his very first property, which they did. He miraculously got a deal, the first deal. And then he continued to fuck his way to the top, like he just fucked up. They kept letting him go no matter what. He got this rated television show and highly rated. One of the rumors, and this is not actually a rumor, but this is true. Trump, all of the Trump apprentice people have to say that Apprentice is rated #1. Whether it is or not, they had to say it. Because if you say a lie consistently enough, people believe it. So this is the thing about the lying. Okay, so let's go on here. I want to do this again. Woohoo! I like this idea that I can do this. I'm going to see if it's still here. I do know a few months ago it was there. Mr. Steve Bannon. I'm going to write Bannon. Oh, let me get the N's instead of the M's. Bannon, Stalin. Because Mr. Steve Bannon says he's a Leninist. I guess it's not Stalin. What the crap? That's really not good. Because a Leninist is way worse than a Stalinist, if you ask me. Listen to this. Ding! What date is this? Here's my second pair of glasses. February 2nd, Monday, February 6th. That was my sister Lori's birthday. Steve Bannon, President Trump's chief political strategist and Trump's most powerful man in Washington, once declared proudly, I am a Leninist. Okay, I'm going to click on that link because I don't want to read the rest of their bullshit story. Let's see what this says. Steve Bannon, and what date was this one? This is from the Daily Beast. And this was 8/22/16 by Ronald Rodash. Steve Bannon, Trump's top guy, told me he was a Leninist. Why has the Trump campaign taken it as its new head a self-described Leninist? I have met Steve Bannon, the executor of Breitbart.com, who's now become the chief executive of the Trump campaign and replacing the newly resigned Paul Manafort. I didn't know he replaced him. Mother fire, man, like for real? Oh my God, I'm a London has been proudly declared. I mean, honestly, I can't read this. I'm drunk. That's the primary reason I can't read this. And so let me figure out how to get back to you guys. There you are. Hi. Now I see not you, but myself. So, wow, you guys. So how old do you want to be? I think I'm going to rename this video and see if I get any better responses. I think I'm going to rename it like, I don't know. What do you guys think? I I actually am think I have been thinking about it for a super long time. I haven't done it, but monetizing this video. I hate to monetize, but maybe getting a Patreon page going for the Age of Vision radio show. Age of Vision. I think I'm going to do that at Gmail. This weekend after midterm, when tax season is over, oh my gosh, I live my life by tax season. I don't know how many of you out there who will watch my videos send your shit to your tax preparer at the last minute. Please don't do that. Like, today was my birthday, and I had to work all fucking day long. Like, well, actually, yesterday was my birthday, and it's 1:50 a.m. the next day, but I woke up and had to work all day. I mean, actually, I probably could have stopped at around 5 o'clock, and then I called somebody up who had installment agreements and said, "Look, dude, if you don't do your taxes, you're going to be super screwed." And so we did their taxes. They said, "Oh, well, thank you." So let's just give you a little simple tax thing. If you have an installment agreement with the IRS, you have to file your taxes by the last filing date. Otherwise, you default. And then you have to go through the whole thing all over again. And you don't have to pay somebody a boatload of money. You can fill it out yourself or hire someone and ask them for a lower price. And, you know, it actually, to be honest, it's not that easy to find good tax help or good tax resolution help because people will tell you anything. That's how it is, and that's what the realists say, right? Like, that's how people are. Like, they'll tell you anything so they can make the most of it. But I think what we need to find is we really are having an ethical crisis in this country. What's ethics? We have a vice president. Listen to this. This is okay, let's just give it. We elected the predator in chief. This country decided we're such a misogynistic group of people that we believe in rape culture, and we're going to elect a man who a month ago told us he grabs people by their private parts and rich people can do whatever they want, and it's like, hey man, I just want to kiss him and no matter what. Like, that's what we elected. Okay, I can't comprehend how Americans can adhere to this. This is beyond belief. Okay, but let's move on to this stuff. Oh, sanctimonious Mike Pence. I'm the Christian brother. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of testimony about Mike Pence. In 2009, I think it was 2009, Mike Pence was a congressman from Indiana. He was standing in front of a mic with John Boehner, saying, yes, we're very, very proud of our vote today that we did not allow an extension of unemployment benefits to those freeloaders on society. So what the fuck? Like, a month and a half before Christmas, you're going to fucking cut off people's unemployment? People who have been cut off at the knees because of the economic collapse while we give fucking billions and billions of dollars to the bankers? Like, what the fuck? I mean, I literally was typing away at my computer. Like, this is the thing. When I do tax returns or I do tax resolution and I'm doing my slave work, I listen to C-SPAN. and I listen to the hearings so I can hear what our government's doing, because what am I doing all day? I'm asking people to comply with our fucking federal government, which, to be honest, I'm glad we have a federal government. I am not one of those people. I am not an anarchist. What will happen if they knock it all down? You know what happens? The fucking bankers weed their way in. Why the fuck do you think that Trump wants to destroy every institution that we have? So see what happens? The bankers, one banker comes here, one banker comes here, and look what happens. Woo! And look where are the people. Fuck you, assholes. Like, no. We need to have institutions. We need to have pillars. The executive, legislative. What's the other one? Sorry about that. God, I'm sorry. Executive, legislative, and judicial. The stupid fucks in the judicial. The only thing we have going with the judicial is actually people have a conscience. Like, there's a small group of people. There's the peer pressure. The cool thing is about humans is we have our hormones, and when you're in a group of people that you commune with, our hormones mingle. This is why the judiciary with the 12 people, like, they actually form a little unity. It's really interesting when you start thinking about the judiciary, like, and I believe, like, I'm not like some scientist person, but I believe that, like, it's their hormones. It's the hormones, baby, like our smell, our sense. We combine, like, it just happens. Whether you want it to or not, it's going to happen. So you have a group of 12 people, they're more cohesive because 12 small units hang together tighter than 38 units, loosely hooked, right? So in the House, the Congress, we have like, what, over 400. In the Senate, we have 100. And that's in our country. Every country is a little bit different. Oh my gosh. I guess I should go to bed. I've been on the radio for a long time. It's not a radio show. It's a podcast, isn't it? This is the thing. What are we going to do about the nuclear contamination? What do we do? I think we need to demand that they let the sound healing, A, stop creating nuclear pollution, and B, let sound technology. Like, this is the weird thing about the sound technology is they're using it as a weapon. And it's probably very similar to the lasers. Like, intuitively, I believe that we probably the answers. The question is why? I asked this when I started an hour ago. Why are they doing it? I don't know. We don't know. That's the sad part. We don't know. Okay, you guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. Nobody said hello to me, my 2 viewers. They're off messing around, doing other stuff. They just checked in. I'm going to tell myself happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lonnie. Have fun when you see your family on Sunday. I wonder if any other people write themselves to chat. I love you guys, man. So happy birthday. And we got to keep up the good fight. Like, this is the deal. It doesn't really matter. We got to do what we can do. But, okay, so I want to call out George Duke. George, you have to forgive yourself. You do this. Even though I blah, 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 whatever you think it was the worst thing in the world, you say that, right? Even though I was, or even though I did, or whatever it was, I deeply and completely love, honor, and approve of myself. And then you go here and you think about what it was that causes you that, right? At the start of either side of your face, the eyebrows. And then right here, and then right here on your cheekbones, like you're going to go. Even though I really did that horrible behavior, or even though I did those horrible things, or even though whatever it was that we think is the worst, even though I made these really bad decisions, even though everyone's really mad at me, even though I really messed up a lot of people, messed up myself, changed my horrible life into something I didn't want it to be. Even though all of that, I deeply and completely love, honor, and approve of myself. I deeply and completely love, honor, and approve of myself. I deeply and completely love, honor, and approve of myself, even though I made all kinds of mistakes. So happy birthday. And this is for you, George Duke. Even though I deeply and completely love, honor, and approve of myself, I find it almost impossible to forgive myself. I allow myself to forgive. I forgive everyone who hurt me. And I forgive myself for not understanding at all. Happy birthday, Lonnie. Okay. I think that's probably a good way to end. What you think, you guys? Ciao. Love you guys. Whew, we're going to make it. I'm actually sitting on a round ball. So, time to sleep. You guys can talk with me tomorrow. You can call me on my radio show tomorrow, 718-717-8106. 8 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, www.ucy.tv/AOF. Lonnie Clark on the Age of Fission radio show. So this is another thing. Tap your wrists. I deeply and completely love, honor, and approve of myself. Ciao, you guys. Good night.